Play clock winding down. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a big mistake on the return. He's out of bounds at his own 1-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. And not great starting field position here for the offense. And not quite sure what just happened there, other than we do know that he spiked the football on first down. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember their last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
And now they'll take a knee here. And my partner now is speechless, and so am I. And down to a knee. That's one way to call a play. This offense so far on third down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. And down to a knee. Well, that's one option. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it.
All right, here we go.
Now Keenan. And that is going to be incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And tough starting field position here. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. And not quite sure what just happened there, other than we do know that he spiked the football on first down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And how about this for a setup? The ball will go over on downs at the 1-yard line. Down 2 scores. I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Time running out here on the play clock. They try again with Cook. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And the play clock's running down. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll go in the books as a loss of 20, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Forbath will put this one through. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Forbath out to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be... Oh, a miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And not great starting field position here for the offense. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down.
Come on, baby. Get excited. Let's go. Win the rep. It's our rep to win. Win the rep. Come on, baby. Let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We've seen both offenses be pretty cold, but they're able to open up this big lead. I guess we talk about sometimes being opportunistic. I know coaches like that word. They've been opportunistic, haven't they?
And they found other ways to score. And that's what you have to do when your offense isn't really clicking along. And that's what we've seen in this game so far. But lo and behold, they figured out, guess what? We can score in different ways. And they've done it, and to their great advantage.
Yeah, now they're looking good on the scoreboard.
Leopard! Leopard! Hurry up, here we go! Blue, land it!
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A huge loss on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
No, check! Patriot! Patriot!
They'll need to get the play off quickly.
Blue, land it!
Oh, a design run for their wideout. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a solid pickup, 8 yards, but work still to do now on third and goal. The offense on third down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is third and goal. Play clock winding down. And he's got room. Pass it, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And they will line up now for the two-point try.
Over! All right, here we go. 3-19.
They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Forbath out to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're winning big on the scoreboard, but really both offenses have been cold. I guess they've just been opportunistic, you would say.
This is how you find other ways to win. It's often like a pitcher in baseball who doesn't have his best stuff, but still finds a way to be crafty, keep himself in the game, and sometimes, as you said, get out into a lead and not even sure how throwing the normal game. And that's what we're seeing from this squad.
So maybe they're working the corners a little bit.
Painting the black, baby. Painting the black.
I like it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Time running out here on the play clock. Look at the spin. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll let their wide receiver take this one. It's Diggs. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Let's go.
To throw, it's Keenum. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. They'll get 16 yards there. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
Lucky 56. Now let's go. 3-19.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Five yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Lucky 56. Now let's go. Blue, line it.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody